of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. Also, a big shout out to my newest Patreon subscriber, Karen Stringer. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel, you can go to patreon.com and look up Angle Guide. Over there, there's different subscription levels that are available to you. Every subscription level gets you the daily forecast a day early, so you can sort of prepare and know what's coming. And then there's also special readings that are available only over there, depending on the level that you choose. Yeah. So this is the broad spectrum reading for the Tarotscope for the sign of Virgo. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Virgo, this message will be for you as far as what your March might turn out to be. It is broad spectrum, therefore I speak in broad terms so that you can figure out, it can apply to a lot of people and you can figure out where and if it even fits in your life. If your sun, moon, or rising isn't in Virgo, but you have heavily placed planets, which would be 3 or more planets in the sign of Virgo, I would consider watching this reading also. If you're here cross-watching for a Virgo, that's completely acceptable. If anything doesn't make sense in your life in this reading, don't take it personally. It's not anything that you're doing wrong. It could be the planets in different houses. There's all sorts of different factors as to what it could be that's making the reading sort of feel different than what you might be going through. If it does make sense, though, always take whatever you need and sort of leave the rest. But if you make any decisions in your personal life, know that those decisions are solely your responsibility, and never take anything that I say over the advice or counsel of a professional in their field, like a doctor, a lawyer, therapist. Always listen to them first and foremost. This first card is the Signifier for the month. I used the Empathic Oracle for the Earth signs this month. I felt like that felt kind of nice to connect the Earth signs to their empathy for the month of March. And also, again, too, thank you for being patient. If I didn't say that at the beginning of the video, February was a bit of a rough month for me, so I'm running behind, but bear with me. And especially my Virgo Patreon subscribers, the Patreon readings will be up a little late this month, but they will get up. I'm working on them hopefully in the next few days. I'm trying to get through the Earth signs today, then air tomorrow, and then the Patreon readings. So this signifier card is a sort of exactly that. It's a signifier for the month. It basically tells us maybe where we need to focus our energy, what we need to be thinking about, what it could potentially show us a theme for the month, something to reflect upon during the month of March that will help or, make the Virgos more aware of what's going on for them. So let's see what that is. Oh, I love it. 16, which is phases. It's interesting, too, that you get this moon cycle on your card because you guys just had the full moon in Virgo on the 27th, I believe, of February. So you guys definitely were ruling the moon phase, or that full moon, which is all about sort of cleaning house when it's in Virgo, right? And so phases to me is, I'm going to take that literally, right? Because you guys did have the full moon in Virgo, but I'm also going to take this as the read that I'm getting when I look at the picture here is sort of what is Virgo's personal phases? What have you gone through thus far, and what are you sort of maybe currently moving your way through? Being mindful of that and kind of being aware of that and the progressions and sort of the changes that happen to you over the course of time leading up to this point and moving towards the future. And like paying special attention to that during the month of March might empower you or give you a fresher or greater perspective that may help you in some way, shape, or form. And the reason why I think it helps is because we have this beautiful flower in the center, and that to me is sort of like a symbol of growth and beauty. So where have we been growing? What sort of phases have we been going through? What sort of changes have we sort of shown up for, that sort of a thing, Virgo? That would be kind of how I would look at this card for you. Also, it's the numerology is 16, which would boil down to a 7. 7s to me are always about conscious choices. So maybe making some conscious choices about some of the phases or the things that we've learned and how we apply them in our lives might be important this month to help you to kind of further evolve or grow or stay on course on your path, that kind of a thing. So let me shuffle the tarot cards and see what's going on here. Oh, I didn't read the phases for this. I should read the little booklet for phases since I did it for the Taurus sign. I read it out of the book, so I will read it to you. One moment, let me just shuffle for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know? Okay, and let's get to page 6, card 16, phases. Every season has its reason, and mine is acceptance of the moment. As an empath, you find yourself not only sensitive to people and places, but the unfolding phases of change. Letting go and letting change happen is one of the greatest gifts that one can give themselves. You may notice how quickly one's path begins to move forward when letting go replaces impatience and dwelling on the particulars of a situation. Always honor where you are on your path as well as others. Trust that each moment is a phase in the grand tapestry of experience that will change when the time and energy is right. And then there's a little phrase that goes along with this. Am I not allowing myself to flow into the energy of the moment? Am I judging people, situations, and moments in a way that allows me to be stuck in this moment? Again, I just like this because I feel like this is about your own personal growth cycle and just being focused on that, embracing it, honoring it, allowing it to just sort of show you who you are and what you've been through. All right, so let's get into these cards. The first card is your center. This is where you're going to be centered at most of the month. It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be this way the entire month. You might find yourself going in and out of this energy. It also gives us a little bit of an indicator of what you could possibly be creating for the future. So this is the first card. It is Earth energy. It's the Eight of Pentacles. I'm not bothered by this card at whatsoever. When we look at the phases of the moon here in this cycle, that the work or the course that the moon has to go through, this Eight of Pentacles could kind of remind me of that. Do we have 8 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. There's even 8 pentacles. I love when that happens. There's even 8 pentacles there in this cycle of the moon. So when we have the Eight of Pentacles, what that indicates is like we're in maybe a bit of a work cycle, but work is, it's never a bad thing. Eights are about like sort of obtaining balance or achieving sort of a nice balance in our life. The Eight of Pentacles can be about paying attention to details, doing sort of work with our own special flair, embracing what it is that we do, living in the moment, really working our way through it, and giving everything that needs our attention exactly our attention or the amount of attention that it really requires to get the job done correctly or in a way that we're proud of, right? To me, when I think of the Eight of Pentacles, I always feel like it's sort of like the nose to the grindstone a little bit, but it's also, there's a certain sort of like craftsmanship or pride that can be taken in this month in who we are and how we see ourselves, hopefully, that will enable us to sort of see this beautiful ninth pentacle, this beautiful flower of spiritual awareness, or whatever you want to call this, in the center of this card, in the center of this cycle of growth that we've been in, where we can appreciate the work that we've done and continue to work more to create more for ourselves, right? I hope that makes sense. So I like that. I also love that it's in your home element of earth element. Pentacles is the earth element. So we will feel centered, grounded, practical, able to take things on in a very measured and productive manner. So I like this for you out of the gate right now, Virgo. All right, so the next card is the Foundation. This card tells me a bit about sort of what was going on in the past that opened the doors for things to be the way that they are today. The reason why I look at this card is because not only does it tell us that, but it also gives us insight into what could potentially be driving things into the future, or the memory of this card can sometimes be what's holding everything in place, kind of like the linchpin to everything. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups. This is a really sweet Two of Cups, these two cats over the moon with this sort of glistening cross in the background. The Two of Cups can be very much a beautiful love card, right? This could be representational of emotions that Virgos have had towards others that they care very deeply about in the past, right? I like that this is sort of your foundation, because not only is it about love or about caring for others or ourselves potentially, it is also, and at a very true level, right? But it's also cups, which cups is the element of water, which is the complementary element to Virgo's earth, right? So the Two of Cups feels like it's sort of like the other side of the coin or the other half of the puzzle for Virgo a little bit. If this isn't about an outside person from the past that we've cared deeply about, this could be about our own depth within ourselves and our own care for ourselves, our own relationship to the self through the emotions, having a period of time where we really honored that, respected that, explored that, or any of those things with a person outside of ourselves, right? So like if there was a period of time in the past where we were very much in love with someone, and it doesn't have to be a romantic love, ideally the Two of Cups usually is, but it doesn't have to be. It can be some a family member or a friend or something, but it's definitely a strong, deep bond. That glittering cross and the moon speak to sort of like there's an unspoken dialogue that's happening between the two of you, or there was one at least at one point. And so for some of you, you could be maybe longing for this connection again, or longing to put yourself back into this place, either with yourself or with this person outside of yourself. And that would be indicated in that Eight of Pentacles work card, right? But that slow, steady pace, that working back towards that, the connection that we feel from the past here in this Two of Pentacles or this Two of Cups is very possible for you, Virgo. That's also the phases of things fading in and fading back out again, right? So some of you maybe have lost this relationship, or this relationship is away from you in some way, shape, or form for whatever reason. Maybe somebody's even passed or moved away, longing for them. I don't want to say longing for them, but sort of reflecting upon that relationship in a way that honors it is kind of the foundation for everything that you're doing in the month of March, if that makes any sense. Okay. The next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This tells me what your spirit or soul wants you to look at or focus on during the month of March. So this is the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about a fight. It's like a win in a battle that comes at a cost, right? So even though we won and we think we want to be celebratory, we think that we want to feel like, yeah, we've done it. We've sort of lost something in the process. There's a little bit of like sort of a disillusionment with the results of what we thought we wanted, or what we thought was going to get us what we wanted. It didn't actually end up doing so. Yes, we maybe got our way, but it didn't really turn out as great as we thought, right? Fives are always transitory and about change. And when I see this up in the spirit space, to me, it makes me think about, it did say something in this card about phases, about, are you being too judgmental? Where is it that you can free yourself up to explore sort of, the phases and changes and allow things to be as they are? This Five of Swords could indicate that too, right? Where can we change our thoughts in our sort of, struggles that we've maybe had in the past, the things that maybe we've won, like maybe arguments that we've won, or fights that we've had going on in our heads or our minds or whatever, but we've sort of struggled, in the winning we've lost something, and when I think about that, our spirit just wants us to maybe think about that, reflect upon that. You can certainly, I don't necessarily feel like there's an actual action that needs to be taken with this card. I feel like it's more about an awareness that, is it like the question that I'm hearing in my mind is like, is it really worth it? Did the win really suffice to fix, or give you what you need, and if that's not the case, then I'm not sure. Maybe there's something else there to be done, or to be looked at, or changed in some sort of way, because that numerological value of that five would be about changing that. All right, let's go to the next two cards. These are the outside influences. These are things that could be influencing us either positively or negatively in the month of March. They are sometimes people, sometimes events, sometimes things more vague, like belief systems or energies that we didn't know, that don't really belong to us, but they're just sort of around us, or we've adopted them over the course of our life. So let's see what this is. So we have the Three of Wands. Wands is the element of fire. Not necessarily a bad thing. Fire is about desire and action. The Three of Wands is about expectation, waiting for sort of our ship to come in a way. I kind of feel like this could be a benefit to some of the Virgos, especially with that Eight of Pentacles in the center, like, sort of hard work. We see the cycles of the phases here in this card as we let things sort of turn and change, even with that Five of Swords up in the spirit space, as we reflect and we sort of go over our thoughts and go over our wins and our losses and what was worth it and what wasn't. And we do it all from this foundation of this balance of this Two of Cups, which is this sort of loving union, based in compassion, based in the emotions, based in being connected to one's own self when making decisions out of a place of in a state of compassion. This Three of Wands from the outside influence actually can bring us opportunities or, things, people in our life that could potentially allow us to take action and gain more, right? Whatever that more may be for you. Each one of you is going to want something different, right? But if like one of you is sort of working towards maybe love, which these cards could indicate some of that. That Three of Wands to me speaks to the expectation of keep working, Virgo. It's out there for you, right? Like that's kind of the optimism or the excitement of the Three of Wands, is that see how he looks out over that. If you can see the cat, he's looking out over that ocean, like waiting for his ship to come. He sort of automatically expects it. And there's an excitement about that for him. So I get a really good feeling about this card for my Virgos. I feel like there's really hopefully good opportunities this month for you guys to be surprised even a little bit, be an expectation of good things to come and to allow them to sort of flow to you. Now, the next card is I'll take it, the Knight of Wands. Lots of Wands energy. So, again, fire, the element of fire, the spiritual desire, it represents action, taking action, maybe jumping to it. I love that cat's riding on that fox's back. To me, there's a lot of energy to take action this month, to get things done. You may be getting those things done through your work. That's that Eight of Pentacles in the center. Doing everything with this sort of focus. Like I love that the Two of Cups is down in the foundation, because I feel like if there's this focus on loving what you do and doing it from a state of like grace or love, then you end up expecting you might even receive the unexpected and actually be able to take action and achieve more. The Knight of Wands can indicate a fire sign, male, or, like a somewhat older male of the fire sign variety, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, that could offer you help. For some of you, it could be a love connection. For some of you, just because that Two of Cups is down there in the bottom and the Three of Wands is kind of like a little bit exciting. I don't know if it's necessarily the easiest of love connections, let's just say that, but it could be possible for some of you that might be watching. I get the feeling that Knight of Wands might be some opportunities that you might want to spring to action on, or like sort of jump into full force. Be mindful that they have staying power, though. That's the other thing about the Knight of Wands that kind of always stands out, is that although it's exciting and fun in the beginning, make sure that it has follow through. I think with that Eight of Pentacles, you certainly will have follow through, but will the situations around you sort of be able to deliver on what it is that you need? With the Eight of Pentacles in the center and that Two of Cups as the foundation, it feels like what you need right now, or what would be best for you, and this is just a suggestion, is something that's more substantial, something that's more solid, more earthy and emotionally connected is what you're seeking. Don't be surprised if March moves quickly with all of this fire energy on either side of you. And that also gives me a little indication. All of the Wands energy makes me feel like March might move by rather fast for the Virgos. As far as like outside situations, what's going on around you, people and their stuff, there could be some things that is a little bit dramatic. There could be some arguments, or, who knows what's going on around you. But I would say ultimately the most important part is just kind of keep doing what you do best, and stay sort of clear on what that is, and then remain in sort of that state of expectation of whatever that Three of Wands is going to bring to you, because it will be beneficial. For sure. Sorry for the yawn. All right, so this last card is the potential outcomes. This card tells me where things are naturally heading, barring that nothing major changes. So if this card is negative, we can use it as a warning to make choices and changes in our lives to affect the outcome through free will. But if it is something that we like, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards this card and that the majority of Virgos will arrive at this at some point by the month's end. So let's see what it is. Okay, I'll take it. This is the Star card. It's major arcana, so it's, got a little bit more of a punch, a little bit more of a pack to it. The Star is a card of peace. It's associated with the sign of Aquarius, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's about, Aquarius is, to me, is very sort of spiritual and expansive, but the Star is usually peace after sort of like maybe a big struggle. It follows the Tower in the major arcana. To me, the Star is sort of that idea of just emanating in that state of grace. Oh, excuse me. Knowing who we are, what we deserve, what we bring to the table, being able to shine that, not needing to like sort of outdo anyone or anything, or not feeling inferior, not feeling superior, just feeling as we are and being fine with that, right? So, but also this being major arcana speaks to the month's end. Hopefully, the Star card is one of my favorite cards of the deck personally. And so I feel like you guys should be ending out the month in a very beautiful and peaceful, like, I guess honored would be a good word, like in a very honored way. However that may be, and the reason why I say that, and that's so vague, is because that Three of Wands, whatever comes in for you each this month, it should be good. It should be exciting. It should be fun. And if you continue to just sort of stay grounded and work towards it and make sure that your mind stays sort of clear, or you continue to sort of clear away some of the things that have held you back in your mind, staying sort of grounded in the compassion of that Two of Cups, either compassion towards yourselves or others, that Star card really has all the opportunity to come in and let you feel its grace, right? Let it shine upon you and sort of give you the peace that comes with it. So I really do wish you guys a wonderful March. Thank you again for being patient. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you'd like. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live. Honor and be in awe of your phases, Virgo. Allow the transitions and the changes and everything that you've been through to kind of just culminate into the exact person that you are. I just noticed something. We have this star here, and then this, which was a flower, or I see it as a flower, but they look very much the same. Do you see that? How they kind of look alike? The star and the flower in the center of the phases. So I really think that this could be a really wonderful month for you to just kind of honor who you are and everything that you've been through. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and I think I said like the page and subscribe. Sorry, I got lost there in the fact that those two things look so similar. It's kind of like they look exactly alike to me now. I can't stop staring at it. It's like the first card and the last card. All right, you guys, have a wonderful March. You can tune in with me every morning for the daily forecast. That's for all signs. And please, if you're watching on Facebook, go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're watching on YouTube, go over and subscribe or follow the Facebook business page. You can always message me there. If you have a direct question for me, you can always leave a comment on a video. Please share these videos out too. I'm really trying to grow the channel. It's been a bit of a struggle, and I really count on my viewers to sort of help me out. If you know of any groups or anywhere that, anybody, any other Virgos you care about that might need to see this, or any of the other signs, please feel free to share them with them. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. Next up will be Capricorn, and then tomorrow will be the air signs. All other signs have been done and should be uploaded completely now onto the YouTube channel and on the business page. All right, have a great day, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.